Hi everyone, and welcome to the 25,000 subscribers celebration Q&A video, and also sorry it took so long. I was traveling for the holidays and just wasn't around to make it, so here it is. Also, Happy New Year! Before we get started, I just want to say thank you for all the questions. There were so many, and for that reason I can't do them all, so I just tried to pick some that I think I had actual interesting responses to and that people would actually want to hear me talk about. So this video is also not going to be answering some of the more common questions I got. I did answer a lot of those previously in this video if you want to check that out, so let's start. What's your favorite band? This is actually quite an easy one. My favorite band is They Might Be Giants, and they have been since I was a teenager. What do you intend on doing after your EarthBound Analysis Series? So, I do want to do one on Mother 1 and Mother 3, and then past that, even just immediately beyond the EarthBound Analysis Series, I do have plans for some other videos in that vein. You'll just have to wait and see. I'm still trying to develop it in my head a bit, and I don't want to talk about it before it's like really ready. Did you genuinely and thoroughly enjoy Vanilla Mother 1, even with the encounter rate and confusing objectives? Mother 1 is not a game that I despise. I feel like it comes across like I really don't like it, when that's not the case. I do like it quite a bit, actually. It's just a game that I would say I appreciate more than I enjoy playing. It was incredibly ambitious for its time, and it also still has a lot of great qualities. So like, in short, overall, yes, I'm still very glad I've played it. What do you think about your first video on this channel, and have you had any other channels before this? That first video is not my best work. Originally this channel was just going to be a bunch of EarthBound memes. I wasn't intending on making narrated content at the outset of it, so that's why it ended up the way it did, and I didn't exactly know what to do for a first video, so I was just like, I'm not gonna stress about this first video because I didn't really know what to do for a first video, so I was like, I'm just gonna do this and get it out of the way. So I guess I just wish I had more foresight into the content I'd end up making. And yes, I have had YouTube channels before this one. I've been making videos since I was a little kid. I've just always really been into filmmaking and stuff, so I've made a lot of videos over that time. Am I planning on doing any more videos on Mother fan games? I did one a while back on Opposing Force when that first came out, and looking back, I feel like I was way too harsh on it. It's not a can of worms I really want to dive into, but long story short, not particularly, but I will probably make a video on Mother Encore whenever that finishes. What other EarthBound merch would you like to have? So coming up this year, I'm gonna want to get the Mother 1 plushies, but aside from that, I would just really like the Bubble Monkey statuette. It just feels like something I am destined to own. But honestly, I'm not the biggest collector of merchandise in the world or anything like that, so it'll probably be a while before I get any more. Do you enjoy doing YouTube, or do you feel like it's a necessity for your career in general? Yeah, I really enjoy doing YouTube, and anytime I've been stressed out by it or something, that's when I take my breaks and everything. So I wouldn't say anything like it feels like work or something yet. That said, I do feel like I might be soft retiring YouTube shorts. I enjoyed doing them throughout last year, but I've just found that they're kind of exhausting to make, and I would like to take a breather from that. I'm not gonna say they're done forever, but for now, I don't know how many more I'm gonna do. If you met Shigesato Itoi, what questions would you ask him? Really easy one for me. I would ask what his favorite books are. I sort of just like to pick artists' brains at what makes them tick, so I'd probably ask him questions about what his personal process and principles are when he's trying to tell a story. Will you ever do a face reveal, and how and what made you become a huge Mother fan? To answer your first question, no. At this point I have no intentions of doing a face reveal. Again, never say never, but as of now, no intention. And I got into Mother like many others did, through Super Smash Bros., particularly Brawl. What made you decide to put out the Mother series survey a few months ago? So as many of you probably know, I ended up doing a bunch of YouTube shorts on that, but originally the plan was to collect the data, then do a video reporting on it, a fully edited one and everything. And I wrote a 10-page script for it and everything, and I hated it. Yeah, as disappointing as it is, I got very far in the video making process for that and was just not happy with how it was turning out, so I decided to just scrap the video. But I didn't want all the data to go to waste, so I made a lot of it into shorts. There have been several people that have expressed I should just put out the video anyway, but I have to say, first and foremost, it's important to me that I'm happy with the videos I make, so if I'm not confident, I'm not gonna make it regardless. What those YouTube shorts ended up becoming is what that video was going to be. And ultimately, being able to break it up like that, I do just kind of feel like it ended up being better that way anyway. Opinions on the Metroid franchise. I have not played much Metroid. I have played all of Zero Mission and I played all of Super Metroid last year and I loved it. I have to say, after one full playthrough, Super Metroid is easily one of my favorite games ever. I think I gave it like a 9 on Backlogged or something, but that could easily go up to a 10 on a repeat playthrough. Amazing. At some point I'll probably play Dread, but that's just going to be another game I get to really late, later than it already is. What are your opinions on the Persona series? If you've played any of them, which ones are your favorites? Yes, I played Persona a couple years ago and I really enjoyed it. My favorite of the ones I've played is probably Persona 3. I'm still working my way through the series though. I've played about half of Persona 1. And I just recently played through Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, and oh boy was that an experience. I really liked that one too. What do you think about the future of the Mother fandom? What do you think will happen? Will the community grow or dwindle, and what future projects are interesting? Well, first, there's so many fan projects going on that I'm not really worried about the fandom ever like truly dying, because the fandom was small like 20 years ago roughly, and it's still growing today, so even though it's still small, I wouldn't say we're in any remote danger considering how consistent it's been and how many of our community members are pretty young. That survey I did was taken by 3,500 people and most of them were between the ages of like 15 and 18 or something. So no, I'm not worried about the fandom going away. Who's your favorite EarthBound YouTuber? Okay, confession time, I don't really watch much EarthBound content myself. I like Jonathan's videos though, he does pretty good stuff. But yeah, as someone so invested in EarthBound myself, I don't really watch that much stuff about the Mother series. A channel I've been really enjoying watching lately though is Hunter R, who does Animal Crossing videos. What's your favorite monkey species? Finally a good question. And the answer to that would be the golden snub-nosed monkey, who mostly lives in China. And many of them live at this one temple in China where they just steal people's belongings and then hold them for ransom until they give them food. That's hilarious. Have you played OMORI? Yes, I have played it. I have not finished it. I'm like 4 or 5 hours into the game. I got it last year from a friend of mine and I still just haven't gotten around to finishing it yet. So I'm going to try my best to have it done by the end of this year, but no promises on like a video about it or anything. I'm just not sure, at least at this point. Last Q&A you mentioned you wanted to do some videos about movies. What are some of your favorite films? Yes, I did say that, and I do still want to make those. I'm just still trying to figure out exactly how I would want to do it. But in terms of some of my favorite movies, I'll rattle off a few now. Singin' in the Rain, Paper Moon, To Kill a Mockingbird, Synecdoche, New York, Mary and Max, The Face of Another, Modern Times, Rushmore, Vertigo, The SpongeBob SquarePants Movie, Good Time and Uncut Gems, Election, The King of Comedy, Lars and the Real Girl, Rosemary's Baby, Monsters Inc., Rocky II, Ed Wood, The Lion King, The Lighthouse, Grave of the Fireflies, The Mask, Rope, and the Raimi Spider-Man films, yes, even 3. So there's a few. I've always been curious about other pieces of media you hold dear. Do you have any favorite games, movies, books, albums, etc.? Well, I've already gone over some movies, but I'll rattle off some of the others as well. So for games, Mario 64, Shadow of the Colossus, Final Fantasy VII, Ocarina of Time, Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, Mega Man X, Donkey Kong Country 1, and both Portal games. For books, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, based on a true story, Crime and Punishment, Notes from Underground, as well as Chimpanzee Politics, that's just a few. And for albums, Songs in the Key of Life, Rumors, The Stranger, Folklore, Igor, and I'll say Sgt. Pepper as well, and yay. Sorry to overload you, I hope you enjoy them as well. Do you own an original copy of EarthBound, or even better, do you own the original big box of the game? If not, do you plan to own these? No, because they are super expensive. Toby Fox had offered to direct Mother 4/help with it. Is this something you would be okay with or want for another game in the series? My answer is I am more open to that. But I would say whoever is in that role has to stay in the role of director, and for me to be like really okay with it, I would more so be down if Itoi himself still wrote the scenario or something like that. He has to be involved in the story for me to be fully on board. What made you choose Bubble Monkey to be the mascot of your channel? The simple answer is I just wanted something really simple as my icon. I had no interest in like a hand-drawn avatar of myself, and also in the Mother series, I just prefer Bubble Monkey's sprite to Salsa's. Just a personal preference. It's just a really easy way to convey both Earthbound and monkeys in one image. I'd like to see you review YIIK. Okay, so a lot of people have asked me to do a video on YIIK over the years, and my answer is no. I am not going to do a video on YIIK, and the simple answer for the reason why is because my good friend Mello already did the definitive video on YIIK. I know 1.4 is supposedly like largely different, but I just don't have any interest in retreading a lot of ground he's already done when he's already made the best video on the entire game. Not to mention, I'm already very familiar with the game, so it wouldn't be like a fresh experience for me, so I just don't think I have anything to add. I don't think it would be as interesting of a video as many do. Would you consider Let's Playing a Persona game? I'm kind of done with Let's Plays in their traditional format. I did it for a while, I liked it well enough, but frankly, it just like wasn't for me as like a long-term thing. So the answer is most likely no, that I wouldn't do them in the traditional like video format, but you know, I would be more down to do like them as streams, and I do want to stream more this year, so I would say just watch out for those. Do you have any shiny Pokemon? Yes, I have 2 at the moment, in fact. Both of which I found while grinding on Victory Road in Fire Red. No, it was Leaf Green while I was getting ready for the Elite Four during my Nuzlocke series a while back. Is there a MonkeyPaula or a MokeyJeff? The answer is actually yes to both. My wife is my MonkeyPaula, and that's what we call her, that's what her username is on stuff, so that's it. And MokeyJeff, yes, I would say unofficially there is as well. That is my best friend, Alf. He makes great videos, by the way. You should check out his videos as well. And MonkeyPoo is none other than Malfazura, who also makes great videos that you should check out. And the last question is, were you nervous about making YouTube videos? I wouldn't say I was nervous so much as I was just awkward. It took me a really long time to figure out what my style was, what I was all about and all that, so I wouldn't say I was nervous. I would say I was awkward. That's why I did things like just did a random video in order to get my first video out of the way. I really stumbled through the intro of my very first Let's Play video with my voice, so yeah, I wouldn't say nervous. It's a hump everyone has to get over, and I was no different. Okay, and that wraps up all those questions. Thank you to everyone who left a comment, and I will probably do another one of these for 30,000 whenever that is that we get there, and then that'll probably be the last one for a while, and then we'll probably not do another one until like a huge milestone or something like that. Anyway, thank you all so much for supporting me. Happy New Year, and I hope to have a new video out to you guys not too far in the future. Have a good one.